The hip-hop industry has never been the safest space for the LGBTQ plus community. For years, it's been a culture where homophobia was normalized and silence felt safer than truth. But that's changing. With more artists proudly embracing their identity and the rise of queer voices in rap, the walls are finally starting to crack. However, some rappers haven't still found the courage to come out.
Oh, no, I think that there are several rappers that are in the closet and gay.
Here are 15 rappers that have repeatedly hinted at being gay. Number 1 is Doechii. Doechii didn't tiptoe into the spotlight. She leapt. Her arrival felt electric, like watching someone born to command attention finally step into their element. The world first met her through the viral explosion of Yucky Blucky Fruitcake, a song that wasn't just catchy but deeply revealing. In it, she introduced herself to the world with humor, bite, and vulnerability, delivering punchlines and personal truths with the same breath. What instantly stood out was her ability to shapeshift. One moment playful, the next razor sharp. That elasticity, that refusal to stay still, is what made her one of the most exciting names to emerge in hip-hop in years. Since signing with Top Dog Entertainment, the powerhouse label behind Kendrick Lamar's SZA and Isaiah Rashad, Doechii has proven she's not here to simply fill space, she's here to redefine it. Her sound is a kaleidoscope. R&B textures bleed into rapid-fire raps, and flashes of avant-pop show her appetite for risk. Every song feels like a new chapter, another persona, another angle of herself revealed. She doesn't just perform, she transforms. On stage, she radiates that rare mixture of rawness and precision, every movement deliberate but alive with spontaneity. You can see it in the way she plays with tone, switching from delicate to dangerous in seconds, commanding attention not through shock but through mastery. What sets her apart most is control. Every verse, every visual, every frame of a music video feels like a deliberate choice, yet somehow she makes it look effortless. Tracks like Crazy and What It Is are perfect examples. She slides between identities and moods, exploring the duality of being both powerful and vulnerable, fierce and funny, confident and questioning. There's a knowing wink in her delivery, a signal that she's fully aware of her contradictions and loves every one of them. It's that self-awareness that makes her artistry so magnetic. She's not pretending to be perfect. She's performing the chaos and confidence of real life. Fans adore her for it. To them, Doechii isn't just an artist. She's a mirror of this generation's complexity. Critics have called her a genre bender, a visionary, even hip-hop's most exciting new voice, and it's hard to argue. She brings theater into rap without losing its grit, style into storytelling without losing its soul. There's something liberating about the way she occupies her art, full throttle, no apologies, no filter. And perhaps one of her most powerful moments came not through a lyric, but through what she chose to say on one of the world's biggest stages. At the 2025 GLAAD Media Awards, while receiving her award, Doechii openly voiced her support for the transgender and LGBTQ community that have been threatened, and she ended it with a symbolic statement: "We are here and we are not going anywhere."
But I want to say that we are here and we are not going anywhere.
It wasn't a passing comment. It was a proud, heartfelt declaration that rippled across social media. Many fans took that moment as her way of aligning herself with the community she's long been rumored to belong to. Whether or not it was an explicit confirmation, it didn't matter. What mattered was the message. Visibility, love, and courage belong on the main stage too. Doechii's story is still being written, but what's clear already is this: she's not just breaking into the industry, she's bending it towards something freer, louder, and more honest. In a culture obsessed with labels, she's showing us that authenticity and commercial success don't have to clash. They can dance together, perfectly in sync. Second on the list is Lil Nas X. When Old Town Road galloped across every radio station in 2019, nobody expected the man behind the viral hit to become one of the boldest figures in modern music. Lil Nas X didn't just ride a crossover hit, he redefined what a country trap star could look like. He has hinted at it several times.
For you to put that out on social media because you hinted towards it.
Although after his song hit #1, he came out publicly, but it was initially a secret he wanted to take to his grave.
I mean, it's just something that, I was considering just like never just doing ever, just like taking to the grave or something, but it was like...
It wasn't even a carefully managed rollout. It was a tweet that shook the culture. Fans flooded timelines with support, while a few critics tried to drag him back into the closet. Instead of shrinking, Nas X doubled down. rainbow suits, music video provocations, devil sneakers, and all. Each move was equal parts artistry and statement. The point wasn't shock for its own sake, it was visibility. Montero, Call Me By Your Name, turned his story into a spectacle, mixing religious imagery with defiant self-love. Brands, pastors, and politicians had opinions, but Nas X had the numbers and the confidence to win. He became a symbol for Gen Z fearlessness, using humor and memes to dodge hate and turn criticism into marketing gold. The result? 2 Grammys, millions of records sold, and a path cleared for every queer artist who wondered if hip-hop had room for them. Lil Nas X didn't just open a door, he kicked it clean off the hinges. At number 3 is Saucy Santana. If charisma could be bottled, Saucy Santana would have his own brand on every shelf. Coming up out of Florida's club scene, Santana flipped a viral moment into a full-blown movement. His rise started behind the scenes as a makeup artist for the City Girls, but he was never meant to stay behind anyone's spotlight. His magnetic energy, unapologetic fashion, and razor-sharp wit turned heads before his music even hit the charts. Then came the anthems, Walk, Material Girl, and Booty, tracks that dripped attitude and made confidence sound contagious. Santana didn't chase mainstream acceptance. He created his own lane and forced the industry to catch up. Fans, especially on TikTok, turned his sound bites into mantras. Every strut, every lyric, every beat screamed self-love and freedom. What really sets Santana apart is how he uses visibility as power. He's loud, proud, and always camera-ready. And that alone challenges decades of hip-hop stereotypes. It's not just about catchy hooks. It's about representation wrapped in rhinestones. Santana knows that when he steps out in a glittered jumpsuit or throws shade on live TV, he's rewriting the image of what a rapper can look like. The plot twist here is that he admitted a secret that most people might not be aware of. He said that if he has a son, he wouldn't want him to be gay.
I feel like if I have a son, I wouldn't want my son to be.
Number 4 is Frank Ocean.
Who's the best male singer ever?
Frank Ocean. He had y'all singing about guys and y'all didn't even know.
Before Frank Ocean's letter changed music forever, he was already one of hip-hop's most mysterious figures. Soft-spoken, camera-shy, and fiercely creative, he built his legacy through emotion rather than image. But when he shared that open Tumblr post in 2012, a raw, honest reflection about his first love, the culture stopped cold. At a time when vulnerability in rap was almost unheard of, Frank Ocean made it sound cool. Channel Orange wasn't just an album, it was a confession set to soundscapes. Tracks like Thinkin' 'Bout You and Bad Religion turned heartbreak into high art. He didn't label himself, didn't make speeches, he just told his truth and let the music do the rest. The reaction was seismic. Industry icons like Beyoncé and Jay-Z voiced their support. Fans flooded timelines with gratitude, saying his openness helped them see themselves in music for the first time. Frank didn't play into the tabloid cycle. Instead, he disappeared, re-emerging only when he had something to say. That mystique, mixed with his creative depth, made him one of this generation's most respected artists. Frank Ocean's courage shifted hip-hop's emotional range. He taught an entire genre that honesty could coexist with greatness, that you could be soft, soulful, and still stand tall. To this day, every whisper of a new release from him sends fans into chaos. And maybe that's the point. His voice is rare, but his impact is permanent. Tyler, the Creator, takes the 5th spot. Tyler, the Creator, has never done anything halfway. From his early Odd Future days, wild, loud, chaotic, to his current era of polished, self-aware artistry, he's made an entire career out of breaking molds. When Tyler began weaving confessional lines about crushes and heartbreak into songs like Garden Shed, the conversation around him shifted. Was it real? Was he trolling? Tyler never gave a clear answer, and that ambiguity became the point. He forced fans and critics to confront why it even mattered. What Tyler did best was show that freedom itself is power. He blurred gender lines in fashion, played with vulnerability in his lyrics. One of his popular lines from his song is, "I have been kissing white boys since 2004.
I've been kissing white boys since 2004.
Hip-hop, once allergic to emotional honesty, suddenly had a leader of the cool kids wearing pastel suits and talking about feelings. Every time he accepted an award or gave an interview, there was a mix of humor and depth. Tyler talked openly about self-acceptance, about being okay with who you are, and about using music as the ultimate therapy. He didn't just make weirdness mainstream, he made it aspirational. Tyler, the creator, turned rebellion into art and self-expression into a lifestyle. In doing so, he cracked open a door that used to be sealed shut and left it wide open for anyone bold enough to walk through. Number 6 is Kevin Abstract. As the creative heartbeat of Brockhampton, Kevin Abstract helped redefine what a rap collective could be. He wasn't just another frontman, he was the voice stitching all the chaos together with brutal honesty. From the group's earliest mixtapes to Saturation and Ginger, Kevin wrote about identity, love, and belonging in ways hip-hop hadn't heard before. His music often sounds like late-night confessionals, melancholy chords, restless beats, and lyrics that read like diary pages. What made Kevin stand out wasn't just what he said, but how he said it. He delivered emotion through layered harmonies, bright visuals, and stories about youth trying to find their place. Outside the studio, Kevin became a symbol of fearless transparency. He's spoken about growing up in Texas, navigating rejection, and creating spaces where young artists can exist without hiding any part of themselves. Under his guidance, Brockhampton became a movement, a brotherhood of misfits who turned authenticity into their brand. Kevin Abstract showed that being yourself doesn't mean you have to explain yourself. You just build your world and let the art speak for you. Mickey Blanco comes in at the 7th spot. Mickey Blanco came out of the New York performance scene like a lightning strike, part poet, part punk rocker, part MC. Before most rappers were ready to talk about gender and fluidity, Mickey was already living it out loud on stage. Their performances were raw theater, heavy beats, wild costumes, and lyrics that mixed vulnerability with ferocity. When Mickey dropped Betty Rubble, The Initiation, and later Mickey, the underground took notice. Critics called it art rap. Fans called it revolutionary. Through collaborations with Kanye West, Blood Orange, and others, Mickey proved that experimentation and courage could coexist with technical skill. Beyond music, Mickey became a voice for inclusivity, speaking about health, identity, and resilience. They turned their own experiences into education, showing that representation isn't just visibility, it's empowerment. Every bar Mickey spits is both rebellion and invitation. This is what freedom sounds like. Sliding into the 8th position is Cakes Da Killa. Cakes Da Killa is proof that lyrical precision and ballroom flair can live in the same verse. Bursting out of New Jersey's underground club circuit, Cakes combined razor-sharp rhymes with a house party flow that dared anyone to underestimate him. His mixtapes, The Eulogy, Hunger Pangs, Movaland, are packed with punchlines that celebrate joy and dominance rather than apology. Critics quickly realized that behind the humor was pure skill. Cakes could out-rap almost anyone, flipping from double-time flows to slick one-liners without missing a beat. He's often said that confidence is the most underrated weapon in hip-hop, and his catalog backs that up. Through fashion, performance, and stage presence, Cakes reminds audiences that swagger isn't tied to any stereotype. It's earned. When he's on stage, the energy shifts. The crowd stops laughing and starts cheering, because skill always wins. Leaf stands out at the 9th spot. Leaf's music doesn't follow trends, it creates them. His breakout track, Wote, exploded online for its elastic flow and futuristic beat, and by the time his mixtape Treehouse dropped, critics hailed him as the next evolution of alternative hip-hop. Leaf fused experimental electronic sounds with danceable rhythms and biting social commentary. His performances, half club, half performance art, challenged ideas of what a rapper could look like or sound like. He's spoken about how the scene initially resisted him, yet he turned that resistance into motivation. Collaborations with artists like Sophie and Kalela blurred genre lines completely, setting the stage for today's genre-defying stars. Every synth stab and breathy hook in Leaf's catalog carries the same message. Authenticity is innovation. He didn't wait for permission, he built his own lane. Number 10 is Zebra Cats. Zebra Cats' breakout moment came with Ema Reed, a minimalist track that took over fashion runways from Paris to New York. Suddenly, the underground ballroom chant had become a high fashion anthem. But Zebra Cats, real name O.J. Morgan, was never chasing hype. He was crafting performance art. Each video, each outfit, each beat was a study in identity, race, and power. Touring with gorillas and performing on global stages, Zebra Cats turned subculture into spectacle without losing authenticity. He speaks through contrast, dark beats, haunting visuals, and a calm, deliberate flow that commands attention. In a world obsessed with visibility, Zebra Cats reminded everyone that mystery can be just as powerful. His influence rippled through both the music and fashion industries, proving that individuality never goes out of style. At number 11 is Young M.A. When Young M.A. dropped "Oh," the entire internet started quoting her bars. The Brooklyn rapper's calm aggression and wordplay made her an instant heavyweight. She didn't rely on gimmicks, just tight verses and streetwise swagger. She once reflected on the signs she saw when she was younger. She even mentioned the first time she kissed a girl in a closet.
First time I kissed a girl, I was young, and it was in the closet.
Her success challenged long-standing assumptions about gender and power in rap. Young M.A. built her empire on authenticity, giving interviews where she emphasized independence and respect. Albums like Herstory in the Making show her range, from slick boasts to reflective storytelling. On stage, her presence commands attention, quiet confidence, no need for theatrics. She's living proof that skill and honesty are the ultimate flex. Number 12 is I Love McConaughey. Back in 2014, Tuesday took over every playlist. I Love McConaughey's melodic drawl and woozy beats felt unlike anything else in hip-hop. Drake hopped on the remix, and suddenly McConaughey was everywhere. Then, instead of following industry formulas, he stepped back and focused on artistry. His later projects fused pop, punk, and trap, showing his refusal to be boxed in. McConaughey's career reminds fans that authenticity sometimes means walking away from the machine to rediscover joy in creation. Even years later, Tuesday still gets people moving. A timeless reminder that music made from the heart always finds its audience. Kid Ken holds the 13th spot. Born in Chicago and barely out of high school when he started releasing music, Kid Ken represents the new generation of fearless self-expression. His tracks mix high-energy drill beats with playful lyrics that celebrate confidence and individuality. Signing with Def Jam gave him a national platform, but his charm was already viral thanks to social media. Fans love his fashion, his humor, and his refusal to dim his personality for anyone. Kid Ken's rise shows how quickly the culture is evolving. For younger listeners, he's proof that the next era of rap will be built on openness and originality, not conformity. 14 is Angel Hayes. Angel Hayes raps like every bar could be their last. Their debut projects, Reservation and Dirty Gold, showcased a lyrical intensity that cut through any trend. Topics like trauma, faith, and self-discovery made their work feel closer to memoir than mixtape. Angel's interviews often focus on healing and the power of honesty. They've spoken about using art as a survival tool and about carving a space where no one has to choose between identity and ambition. Each performance feels like testimony, a fusion of rage, grace, and catharsis. In an industry built on facades, Angel Hayes delivers nothing but truth. Finally, at number 15 is Da Brat. Before there was mainstream conversation about authenticity in hip-hop, there was Da Brat. In the 90s, she stormed onto the scene with Funk Duffied, becoming the first solo female rapper to go platinum. Her rapid-fire flow and tough girl image made her a staple of the era. But what really defined her legacy was longevity. Decades later, Da Brat remains a cultural touchstone, appearing on radio, television, and reality shows, mentoring younger artists, and speaking openly about living authentically. She's seen every phase of hip-hop and still stands tall, proof that evolution is power. Her story ties the list together. From pioneers like her to newcomers like Kid Ken, each of these artists shows that being real, musically and personally, isn't a trend. It's the future. Despite these secrets, these rappers have redefined what it means to be real in a genre once afraid of difference. They've shown that authenticity isn't weakness, it's power. And in doing so, they've opened doors for the next generation to live out loud and rap without limits. Now it's your turn. Who do you think should be on this list? Drop your picks in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. Because hip-hop's story of courage and self-expression is still being written, and the next name might just be the one you mention.